The sky cracked open, not in the way storms do, but as if reality itself had been torn apart. From the depths of space, a colossal golden structure materialized, a beacon of light surrounded by swirling cosmic energy. Those who saw it felt an unexplainable pull, a whisper in their minds. The time has come. Awaken. Hidden forces had long controlled humanity's destiny. But what if Earth was never meant to remain a prisoner? What if our true purpose had been erased from history? Tonight, you will uncover a secret buried for millennia, one that both the Pleiadians and Arcturians have fought to protect. But before we reach the truth, you must first understand the war waged beyond the stars, and the terrifying reason why dark forces have tried to keep us from ascending. The frigid winds howled across the icy landscape of Antarctica as a team of researchers pushed forward, their bodies wrapped in heavy insulated suits. The world around them was a vast expanse of endless white, where the only sounds were the crunching of their boots against the frozen ground and the distant echoes of cracking ice. This expedition had begun like any other scientific mission, but what they were about to uncover would change the understanding of human history forever. Beneath layers of ice, hidden away from the eyes of the modern world, lay something that had no place in Earth's recorded past. Dr. Elias Carter, a leading astrophysicist, stood at the forefront of this discovery. His keen eyes, framed by thick glasses, reflected the bright glow of the excavation lights as they illuminated the depths of the dig site. The research team had been following strange magnetic anomalies detected by satellite scans, and their efforts had led them to a massive structure buried deep beneath the surface. As the last chunks of ice were carefully removed, the team found themselves staring at an enormous monolith. It was unlike anything they had ever seen before. The structure was smooth, perfectly shaped, and appeared to be made of a material that defied all known properties. It emitted a faint blue glow, pulsating as if it were alive. Strange, intricate symbols adorned its surface, forming patterns that seemed both mathematical and artistic in nature. Dr. Carter reached out, his gloved fingers hovering just inches away from the monolith. "This is not natural," he murmured, his voice filled with awe. "And it is certainly not man-made." As the researchers documented their findings, another scientist, Dr. Maria Vasquez, began analyzing the carvings. She had spent years studying ancient languages, but nothing in her experience matched these symbols. However, there was something oddly familiar about them. As she cross-referenced them with various known scripts, her heart began to race. "The spiral symbol," she whispered, her breath fogging up the inside of her helmet. "I have seen this before." Dr. Vasquez quickly pulled out her tablet, scrolling through images of ancient cave paintings discovered in various parts of the world: Australia, South America, and even remote regions of Africa. The same spiral pattern, sometimes surrounded by dots resembling stars, appeared in cultures that had never been connected. These civilizations had existed thousands of years apart, with no known means of communication, yet they had all depicted the same mysterious design. "This is a star map," Dr. Carter said suddenly, his voice breaking the silence. He had been studying the positioning of the symbols, cross-referencing them with celestial charts. "But the coordinates, they do not match any known location in our recorded history." The realization sent a shiver down everyone's spine, and it was not just from the freezing temperatures. This monolith, buried beneath Antarctica, was providing evidence of something beyond Earth. Before they could fully grasp the implications, an unexpected surge of energy pulsed through the air. The monolith began to glow brighter, its symbols shifting as if responding to their presence. The ground trembled slightly beneath their feet, and a low humming sound filled the chamber. The team exchanged nervous glances. "We need to contact the base," Dr. Vasquez said urgently, reaching for her communication device. Before she could send a message, their equipment started to malfunction. Digital screens flickered, communication signals turned to static, and even their watches seemed to lose track of time. Something was interfering with all electronic devices. Then, without warning, a beam of light shot out from the monolith, piercing the ice above them and extending into the sky. The atmosphere vibrated with an otherworldly resonance, as if the air itself was responding to the energy release. "What is happening?" one of the researchers shouted over the rising hum. Dr. Carter's mind raced. He had spent his entire life studying the cosmos, yet nothing had prepared him for this moment. He realized that the monolith was not just an artifact. It was a beacon. A signal had been sent. Far beyond Earth, something or someone had received the message. The sky above them darkened as unusual auroras began to form, dancing in patterns never seen before. The colors were not the usual green and blue, but deep purples, fiery oranges, and shimmering gold. It was as if the very fabric of the sky had been altered. The research team stood in stunned silence, watching as the auroras twisted into shapes that resembled symbols from the monolith. It was as though the universe itself was responding. Then, as suddenly as it had begun, the light from the monolith dimmed. The strange hum faded away, and the icy ground beneath them stabilized. Dr. Carter turned to his team, his voice steady but filled with urgency. "We are not alone," he said, "and we never have been." The implications were staggering. Had this monolith been left behind by an ancient civilization that once walked the earth? Or was it a gift from an extraterrestrial race, guiding humanity towards something greater? One thing was certain: this discovery was no accident. The monolith had been waiting for the right moment, waiting for the right people. And now that it had been activated, there was no turning back. Unbeknownst to the researchers, intelligence agencies had been monitoring their expedition from the moment they set foot in Antarctica. Satellites had picked up the energy pulse, and encrypted signals had already been sent to the highest levels of government. Something had been awakened, and forces beyond their understanding were already moving into action. The air was still, yet an unexplainable energy pulsed through the atmosphere, resonating with an ancient rhythm. Across the world, sensitive instruments detected an unusual frequency, one that had never been recorded before. Scientists and researchers were baffled, but those who understood the deeper mysteries of the universe knew that something extraordinary had begun. In a hidden observatory deep within the Swiss Alps, a team of astronomers gathered around their screens, their faces illuminated by the eerie glow of shifting cosmic patterns. The signal, originating from Antarctica, had traveled beyond Earth, touching something vast and incomprehensible in the depths of space. Now a response was arriving. Far above, beyond the limits of human technology, a massive celestial fleet drifted at the edges of the solar system. The ships were unlike anything imagined, organic in design, shimmering with a bioluminescent glow, as if they were living entities rather than mere constructs. They moved with silent grace, aligning themselves into a formation that had been planned for eons. These were the Watchers, the Guardians, the messengers of an ancient alliance that had been guiding humanity from the shadows. On Earth, those who had always felt an unseen presence. The seekers, the visionaries, the ones who sensed there was more to existence, began experiencing vivid dreams and powerful visions. Strange symbols appeared in their minds, accompanied by a deep sense of familiarity. It was as if long-forgotten memories were surfacing, whispering of a time when humanity was connected to something greater. One of these individuals was Maya Ilera, an astrophysicist who had dedicated her life to studying the mysteries of the cosmos. For years, she had felt an unexplainable pull toward the stars, as though they were calling her home. When news of the Antarctic discovery reached her, she felt an undeniable certainty. This was the moment she had been waiting for. As she studied the incoming data, something extraordinary happened. The symbols from the monolith in Antarctica began to match ancient markings found in various locations around the world. These were not random carvings. They were messages left behind by those who had come before. The realization sent a shiver down her spine. "The connection was never lost," she whispered. "It was only forgotten." In that moment, the sky above her seemed to respond. A pulse of energy rippled through the atmosphere, and for the first time in recorded history, a celestial event unfolded unlike any before. A beam of light, not from the sun or any known celestial body, cascaded down from the heavens, enveloping the earth in a soft, radiant glow. All over the world, people stopped and looked upward. Some felt a deep peace wash over them, as if they had finally found something they had been searching for their entire lives. Others experienced an overwhelming sense of déjà vu, as if they had lived this moment before. Meanwhile, deep within the government's most classified research facilities, high-ranking officials observed the event with calculated precision. Their satellites had detected the presence of the unknown fleet, and the implications were too significant to ignore. A signal was transmitted, a message, encoded in the most advanced communication protocols known to humanity. It was a simple yet powerful inquiry. "Who are you? What do you want?" Moments later, a response came, not in the form of words, but in a surge of imagery, symbols, and emotions. Those who were receptive enough to understand it felt an overwhelming sense of unity, an invitation to remember who they truly were. In that instant, the truth became clear. Humanity had never been alone. Their journey had always been guided. And now, the time of awakening had begun. As the celestial fleet moved closer, a profound shift was taking place. The world as it was known would soon change forever, and those who were ready would be the ones to lead the way into the next great chapter of human evolution. A profound silence covered the earth as the celestial fleet finally arrived. The enormous ships, pulsating with an ethereal glow, positioned themselves in a vast formation beyond the moon's orbit. Their presence alone was not a sign of conquest or domination, but a silent invitation, an opportunity for humanity to decide its own fate. Within secret research facilities, world leaders, scientists, and military strategists anxiously watched the unfolding event. Despite their advanced technology, they had no way to fully understand the purpose of these visitors. Yet, those who were more spiritually attuned felt a deep sense of calm. It was as if they instinctively knew that this was not an invasion, but rather the final chapter in a long-forgotten cosmic story. Then, without warning, a shimmering light descended from the heavens, forming a massive projection above Earth's skies. It was neither a language nor an image, but a transmission of pure thought, an energy-based message that could be understood by those open to receiving it. The message was simple. For thousands of years, civilizations had risen and fallen, often guided by unseen forces. The knowledge of the universe had always been available, but the path forward depended entirely on humanity's own actions. Would they continue down a road of division, fear and destruction? Or would they embrace unity, wisdom, and their higher potential? The test was not about intelligence or power. It was about the willingness to evolve. At that moment, a shift began to take place. People across the planet started experiencing sudden realizations, moments of clarity about the choices they had made and the world they had created. Some resisted, unable to break free from their old ways of thinking. But many others felt an overwhelming desire to change, to rise above conflict and step into a future where humanity no longer lived in fear, but in harmony with the greater cosmos. The celestial beings did not interfere. They did not force an answer. The choice was entirely in humanity's hands. And as the final decision was made, the universe itself seemed to hold its breath, waiting to see whether Earth was truly ready for the next step in its extraordinary journey. Humanity had made its choice. The cosmic secret was no longer hidden. The Pleiadians and Arcturians had fulfilled their mission, ensuring that Earth would take its rightful place among the stars. But as the Ascended Ones looked back at their homeworld, a final message echoed through the cosmos. This was only the beginning. Have you ever felt like you don't belong here? As if you were meant for something greater? Maybe you're not just imagining it. Maybe you are one of the awakened. The choice is yours.